celebrate Jalen Duren's push to be an All-Star. Let's talk about it. Last night, he pretty much carried the Pistons 26-10 over the Portland Trailblazers. I was wondering what happened to Robert Williams. He must have been in that Drew Holiday trade. Where's Drew Holiday? Because I didn't see him on the floor last night. But yeah, Jalen Duren is pushing. I mean, Cat has he has comparable numbers to Cat, who's averaging around 21 plus points a game, 11 rebounds. Duren is around, I think, 20 and 11 as well too, 18 and 11. So I think they eliminated the center position out the All-Star game. They just went positionless. I remember, if historically you know about the NBA, without a great big man or a good big man, it was the fact that you didn't have any chance to be a competitive or be a championship contender. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people don't realize that Michael Jordan was the first one to really, help eliminate the center position from you have to have a great big man to be a contender, So I think a lot of people may not remember that, but now they want to get rid of the big fella, and Duren is, doing great. Some people say, hey man, he could be like we train with Chris Webber, Rasheed doing good with Rasheed Wallace and stuff for that. And whatever Rasheed is doing with him is going well. You hear Penny Hardaway speak about him and say that, he's always been very talented, and some of the things that we're seeing from him as far as the jumpers, and he's always had that in the game and in his bag. He just needed it to translate. I need sunglasses. He just needed that to translate to to games. And right now, he's owning it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's owning the defensive side of the floor. He's owning the paint. He's rebounding. I mean, 20 and 10 speak for itself. I think it's around 18 and 10 speak for itself. So, I told y'all he was the most important player who was going to turn this around. And with Cade also being accountable on both sides of the floor, now you got Duren who's, being accountable on both sides of the floor. That's why he's so important, because any way a trend is going, you have to beat the trend. That's why I say they don't have to be like OKC. You got to be like Frank Sinatra and do it my way and do it your way. And I think a lot of people believe that they have to beat a trend. They have to continue a trend. You got to beat it. How do you beat it? If they're trending for guards, you go find an important big fella that can pull his weight. That's what you do. You go find a big fella that can do his thing and control the paint. And now you're going to have teams starting to find a big fella that can control the paint and do his thing. So, and I like that he play like a big. That's what I like about he play like a big. That's the one thing I love about him. He play like a big. He take authority like a big. But a lot of these other guys, like Cat, he for the most part he want to play like a guard. But Duren is, very important to, success. Y'all just measure what people bring to the table in rebounds and points. You can't always measure a player by statistics. Their contribution and communication, their contribution to what they bring to the locker room. Some of these guys are like, the big mama of the locker room. They keep guys together. You remove them, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, the locker room fell apart. So you got to, kind of keep that in mind too. But, he just, the athleticism is getting mixed in with excuse me, the skill. And this is what you're getting, somebody that's dominating now. So for the most part, when he can get that taste of fame, get that taste of success, keep going. You know, he had ankle issues, get ankle flexibility going, get lower body support, you know, and maturity. You know, when we was 21, 22, 23, a job wasn't your top priority. You know, you wanted to be like any other 20-some-year-old, you know, going to parties, living in life. But that's why you gotta learn to sacrifice. You know, sacrificing and, you know, keep your head down doing your job and keep you out of a lot of problems. A lot of, you know, you don't go to these parties. You find yourself in the middle of melee. You find yourself in the middle of issues, you know. But if, you know, many times when I was that age, I was like, man, I should have just stayed home. I should have just stayed home, or I should have just went in to work. So just push. The Pistons social media is pushing for him. He deserved to make it. I want to say right now he deserved to be the guy over Cat. You know, Cat is, you know, etched in stone. But hey, I've ride. You know, Joel kind of fell off due to injuries. I mean, Miles Turner, you know, kind of slipped this year in Milwaukee. Who else you got? Cleveland, you got Jared Allen. You know, I'm better than him this year. You better than Nick Claxton. Some people wanted the Pistons to go out there and pay Nicholas Claxton. I'm better than those guys. And that's what you wanted to prove. And you hope this continues. And you hope this continues, you know, as he gets the success. You hope this continues. Now, don't be a dick and speed up. Come on, man. Come on. Now I gotta be him. I be hating this to be a bad driver sometimes. And people be really testing my gangster out here on these roads, and you still lost. I don't know. But yeah. So Duren push, you know, gotta keep pushing through December. And it's a crime. I feel like the Pistons and the Knicks ain't on Christmas. I feel like that's a crime. You know, the Pistons had one primetime NBC syndicated game, and that got flexed from the Kings and the Clippers to the Lakers, which is LeBron's, I think, 41st birthday versus the Pistons. You know, so we still ain't getting no respect. So, but hey, thumbs up the video, Rodney Dangerfield. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Amazon, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.